This is Fire and Smoke, and we are Philip,
Abby,
Blake,
Ethan,
Eric,
also known as Dungeon Master,
Florence Bale,
Jasper Strayhorn,
Dr. Augustus Steele,
Jasper.
and this is Fire and Smoke, the Devil at Gold Basin. Without further ado, smoke. Wispy tendrils rise from the chimneys of Dodge City, Kansas, on this cool September night. From its half-hundred buildings, no church spire points upward, but the majority instead house dance halls, gambling houses, and saloons. Resorts, like the Wicked, which flourish best under night. At one of those saloons, we find Florence Belle. Performing at her father's venue, with her accordion and her chicken on her shoulder. Abby, would you like to introduce your character?
Yes. Florence Belle is 22. She is 5'10". She weighs 160 pounds. She wears black leather chaps with a leather jacket and a black cowboy hat. Her eyes are brown, her skin is glowing, and her hair, luscious locks of course. And she has no scars, but she gives them.
You're performing in your father's saloon. People are going about their business around the tavern, drinking, simple tables, nothing flashy. A lot of cowhands pass through these parts, and they go into Dodge City knowing of its reputation of dangerous but tightly controlled by the lawmen. You see your father behind the polished bar top serving drinks to patrons, rough cowboy types, adorned in hats with 6 guns on their belts. What do you think is going through Florence's mind tonight?
I think she's thinking about how she's super thankful that her father has given her this life, raising her on his own at this point, and always taking care of her and giving her a place to live.
The night continues. Normal. It's nothing out of the ordinary. Normal patronage, normal people coming and going, drinking, playing cards. Some rough words, but nothing too strong. You're on stage and you notice some gruff, tall man in a black cowboy hat and brown overcoat down to the floor, covering his boots, stands up and points at your father, and you hear him say something in a tone that's angry, but you can't quite make out the words across the bar. It looks like things might be getting a little bit heated. Would Florence walk over, try to help in any way?
Yes, of course. She loves her father with all her heart, and she'd do anything that she could. She'd go over there and try and see what's happening.
You see, as you're walking over, you jump off the stage and you start striding across the room, accordion still hanging on its strap around your neck, your rooster, Chico, on your shoulder, and all of a sudden, before you can walk up, the man grabs your father across the bar by the collar and starts pummeling him in the face. You see 2 men behind him stand up from their table and start walking towards, and you don't know if they're going to help or if there is friends going to help him.
Florence will get between them.
You rush over, you want to help your father. The men haven't pulled guns yet. It's not deadly, but he is already hurt 3 punches in. You try to pull this arm off your father's shoulder. The man pushes you back. You twist as you fall, landing on your accordion, falling face first on top of it. It's ruined. Your mother's accordion that she gave to you before she died. It was her mother's. It's a family heirloom. Your most prized possession. Gone.
Florence is immediately devastated, and even though I think her dad's still getting beat up probably right now, she doesn't know what else to do besides pick it up and run away and just remove herself from that situation that immediately caused it harm.
You scoop up the pieces, you're frazzled, you know there's not much you can do to help your father. The men seem like they're backing off because of your emotional outburst to this, but you aren't even paying attention. You run out of the saloon, across the street, into an alley where there isn't anybody there, and you can be alone, and you sit, crying, unsure what you can do. This was the thing that you were going to give to your daughter, and the last thing that your mother gave to you. And you continue to sit there, and you're looking down at the ground. Suddenly, you can feel the presence of somebody standing over you, just to the side, looking down at you.
Florence would look up to them and ask them, "Who are you?"
You look up, you see a man. He has pale white skin, where you can see it, but it's almost not showing. He stands 6 feet tall exactly, with bony, angular features and short, bone-white hair. He wears a three-piece suit with a white undershirt below a black vest and long overcoat. There's a pocket watch chain connected from his middle button into the pocket above his breast. You see he has a black bowler cap on, rounded sunglasses with metal siding, and black gloves, so he's almost entirely covered up. You look up at him and say, "Who are you?" And he says, "Well, what's the matter? You look sad. Your accordion. Oh, I am sorry. It must have been important to you, hmm?"
Well, yes, it was, but who are you?
Don't worry about that right now. This accordion, did it have some deeper meaning? Was it somebody that you know?
Yes, it belonged to my mother and her mother. It was passed through the family for generations.
Piece of your mother's life, even. Can't put a price on that, can you?
No, you certainly can't.
Somebody offered to repair it, you'd certainly pay whatever they asked.
Well, yes, of course.
What if I told you that I could fix your accordion and give you a little extra help to get even with those bad men that did this?
What do you mean, get even?
They broke your accordion. Don't you want them to pay for that? Don't you want them to say they're sorry?
Well, yes, I do. I think I do.
But if you walked up to them like you are now, you think they would do that, or you think they might laugh in your face and walk away?
Yeah, I don't think I could do anything right now.
You have no power in that relationship, but I can fix your accordion, and I can give you that power.
Well, now I'm interested.
Well then, we better make a deal. We pull out from this scene. Cool night, the breeze blows. That night, 5 years ago, you sit on a train, bright daylight, bustling towards Kingman, Arizona. Accordion, beautiful, perfect in your lap, rooster on your shoulder. You catch yourself reminiscing about it, and every once in a while you can't help but asking, was that really worth it? The train barrels through the valley. The year is 1883, 5 years later. Nestled in the low Surbat Mountains is Kingman, Arizona. It sits in the Great American Desert on the newly constructed Atlantic and Pacific Railroad. Around it, orange and brown sands shift with the wind, only broken up by the juniper and shrub-covered peaks. Town was officially established about 2 years ago and is home to a couple hundred residents, only a few dozen buildings, and one Augustus Steele and Jasper Strayhorn. Augustus.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to introduce your character?
Happily. Dr. Augustus Steele is 54 years old, the town of Kingman's respected doctor, a medical physician. He's living the slow life, enjoying being respected for his trade, and that medicine really being more of an art than a science at this point in history. The man is 6 foot even, a little slightly balding on top, but he's got a hearty beard, just graying a little bit on the edges. He's got a vest, a white shirt, and a large overcoat on, standing tall over plenty of his friends over in his little medical building that he works in. Not much of a hospital, if he's totally honest. He misses some of the excitement of his younger days, but tries not to get into them when people ask.
What do you think Augustus is going about right now? It's middle of the day, early summer, days are starting to get pretty hot. Where do you think we find Augustus?
Probably inside his medical clinic, doing nothing too fancy. Maybe seeing someone about a toothache or some soreness or ailment in their body. A little bit of opium or cocaine will get that sorted right quick.
You see Fox Tillman sits in your office. He runs the general store here, and he's sitting there rubbing his arm, and he says, "Cocaine, you think that would do it, Doc?"
Oh, no, not for your arm. No, you're gonna want opium for that.
Opium. Oh, okay. And that'll get me feeling better?
Oh, right in a split.
Well, boy, howdy, Doc. I gotta thank you. Do I need a prescription, or...?
I don't think those really happen out here in the West, if I'm totally honest with you, Fox. You're doing a little bit too much reading these days.
Oh, so do you just give me like a bag of opium?
A jar, thank you very much. We're professionals here. Just follow me on back to the back of the clinic.
He follows you back to the backside of the clinic and you help him out. Jasper Strayhorn. Would you like to introduce your character?
Yes. Jasper is a 23-year-old sheriff's deputy of Kingman, Arizona. Him and his mom, Joan, were here whenever the town was founded. He's probably about 6'2", with a nice dirty blonde mullet. Wears a nice wide brim hat. I got a little badge on for his uniform. And he goes about his days typically patrolling the city and helping out his mom wherever he can.
You see you're walking around the town. It's quaint. It's hot out today. It's not too much going on. Nobody's causing any problems yet, though you wish maybe somebody would. Yeah. Where do you think maybe Jasper might be like on his way to see Augustus, or what do you think he's up to?
Yeah, he usually spends his morning doing the rounds in the town and then probably stops by Augustus's a little after lunch.
All right, you see, as you finish your rounds and the day continues, you might walk over and find Augustus Steele, and you see Fox Tillman, the store owner, shaking his hand, both hands on Augustus Steele's one hand, saying, I can't thank you enough. I mean, I can't thank you enough, sir. I really appreciate it.
Well, of course. Don't you forget that if anything is getting you down, worrying on your body or your mind, come and visit me.
And you'll give me opium?
Well, depending on the specific type of issue we're seeing with your body.
Yeah, he keeps shaking your hand. You see he's got like a mop of gray hair. It's combed over. It's framing his kind of full face. It's got like a rounded droopy jowl. He's clean shaven, and he has a thin black bow tie over his general store's outfit. And he just keeps shaking your hand, saying, thank you. I can't thank you enough. Thank you.
Now, at some point, Augustus is gonna try and get out of this handshake. Maybe take it a step back, giving the guy a few hints that, now is not the time, Mr. Fox.
You step back and he steps forward, just going, you are a friend and a true medical professional. God, we're lucky to have you.
He just makes a mental note that he's been prescribing probably too much opium for Fox Tillman.
After a while, maybe Augustus yanks his hand away and Fox Tillman goes about his day, and you see Jasper Strayhorn walking up to you.
Well, howdy there, Doc. I saw Fox walking away. Did you give him some of that opium again?
Oh, something wrong with his arm, so.
I feel like there's always something wrong with something with him, ain't there?
Plenty of people just have the body that tends to get sick a lot.
Well, I feel like they get a little bit sicker every time they see you, if you know what I mean.
I'd say it's likely hereditary, in my medical opinion.
Yeah, well, the people in this town do tend to be hereditary. What you been up to, Doc?
Besides seeing Mr. Tillman to his medicine, not too much. Jasper, how about you?
Oh, me, just patrolling. Caught a couple of baddies the other day, nothing too much.
Baddies? We don't get too many of those here in Kingman.
Oh, well, you must have missed them.
What exactly were they doing?
Just stealing stuff from the general store.
And you what? Called your mother to chase after him?
Well, she was there, yes, but I assisted in the arrest.
Well, I'm very proud of you. Well done.
Oh, well, thank you, Doc. It means a lot to hear that from you, one of my closest friends here in Kingman.
Yes.
Been a nice short 2 years, don't you think?
Short 2 years.
Yeah, gone by real fast.
This conversation is suddenly interrupted by the loud steam whistle of a train approaching Kingman, and after a few minutes it pulls into the stop, lets out the rest of its steam. And there's one other person on this train of interest. Eric, would you like to describe your character?
Of course. Jasper is a Chinese martial artist skilled in the art of Kung Fu. He came here about 2 years ago, and he is dressed in an orange shawl, has a long staff, and carries 3 small knives. He's got no hair on his head, and he's very muscular after all his training in what would you call Kung Fu. He's about 5'10", and his skin is very shiny.
It's a hot train, yeah.
Yeah, he's been sweating.
Building up a sweat.
Yeah.
Sure, you step off the train and survey the town around you. It's not much. There's a few dozen buildings, all wooden, single-story, simple, besides the spire of a church off in the distance, breaking up that monotony. You are here looking for your friend. You got a lead that he's somewhere in Arizona, and you've been trying to follow his trail and see if you can't track him down. You don't know exactly what you're looking for in the town, but the thing to do might be going to the place that most people gather, which, as you've discovered, as you've been going town to town, would probably be the saloon, and seeing if anybody's seen him. Florence, you also step off the train, and you're looking for a different man. You, for the last 5 years, have been helping people where you can, specifically people who were accosted or wronged by some bad man somewhere in Arizona. And recently, you're helping a woman from Prescott when you were passing through and you noticed some commotion at some tavern down the street from you before a man burst out of the door, jumped on a horse, and started tearing down the street in the opposite direction into the night. You found out that he had accosted her and then drew his gun and held up the tavern. Not only did he take the money, he also took a precious family heirloom from her. And you are trying to hunt that man down and get that back for her like you promised. You see the same simple town, a couple years old. Most of the buildings still seem new, almost like they're still continually building them as new people show up. You don't know where he would be, but you have heard that he's here in Kingman. If you head towards the local saloon, you might be able to inquire about his whereabouts, if anybody's seen him. You've got a description, and you think he's here. You guys both head to the saloon?
We do.
You guys both head across Kingman towards the Cross-Eyed Cricket Saloon. A helpful man getting off the train, who's a local, points your way there. As you enter, both in your own time, you see a simple setting. Round wooden tables, all patroned by a couple dozen of Kingman's residents, drinking, playing cards. A rough wooden bar top at the head of the room sits under the horns of a longhorn beeve. Standing behind it is Barkeep. She's currently pouring a whiskey for a large, gruff man with his back to the door, and you see everybody's just going about their business. So I'll say first, Florence, what would you like to do?
I would like to go to the bar and get a drink from Barky.
The Barkeep?
I heard Barky. I was like, oh, that's the name. Interesting.
I'm sure her name is Barky.
Her name is Barky, obviously.
You go to the bar and you saunter up next to this large gentleman. She slides the drink towards him. She looks at you and says, "Well, what do you have?"
I'd like some chocolate milk.
Do you have any hard chocolate on you? I got the milk. Got it out back. Old Bessie. Keep milk on tap, you know?
Well, I don't have any chocolate right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. We don't carry chocolate. We carry mostly alcohol and fresh milk.
I might have some chocolate on me.
Oh, hello, sir.
Hi. And I
Got
have.
an interesting outfit on.
I don't remember you asking. I don't remember asking you.
I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't mean anything by it. I haven't seen a man dressed that way before.
Yeah, you haven't seen men like me at all around here, have you?
I've initiated something that I didn't mean to, and I've offended you, and I apologize. What can I get for you?
Well, get this nice lady here a chocolate milk.
Okay,
Chocolate. And I'll have a whiskey.
do you have chocolate?
I do have chocolate.
Oh, okay. She walks out the back door to go get some milk, presumably from Bessie, who she keeps tied up in the back.
Now, why were you listening to our conversation?
Well, I was just here at the bar waiting for a whiskey. And she was taking a while to get you your chocolate milk.
She walks back from the outside, carrying a large wooden cup, presumably full of milk. She sets it in front of you. She takes the chocolate from you, stirs it in. The milk is warm, so the chocolate melts, and she pours you your glass of whiskey. All right, for the both of those, it'll be let's call it $1. I don't have chocolate milk on the menu, but a milk and a whiskey, we can round that up to $1.
Sure.
All right, you hand her a $1 gold piece.
Mm.
Florence, this interaction, you're listening to this nice gentleman across from you, who I might point out, neither of you has inquired about the other's name or the name of the barkeep.
It's Barky.
Barky.
I'm pretty sure we're already familiar with the name of the barkeep.
Barky the barkeep, Philip. You've forgotten.
Moss Hernandez, Molly, is the saloon proprietor. She's got a square jaw and appears to wear a permanent smirk and scowling eyebrows. Her hair is kept short and tied back in a tight, small bun. She wears a button down, a vest over it, which covers her broad frame. She's the very face of rugged in Kingman, Arizona.
That's why we call her Old Rugged Barky.
And her name is
Covering her broad.
It really sounded like you said covering her bra frame.
covering her broad frame. And her name is Moss, and she's got a life, and she's got a story. And you look to your left, Florence, and you see...
Oh, I love
You see this man sipping on his whiskey that ordered it before you. He is massive. He's hunched down on the bar counter. He hasn't really said much, but he must be at least 6'6", 6'7". He's got a wide frame, head to toe, and shoulder to shoulder. Easily fills a door frame when he enters a room. He has long, frazzled black hair, paired with a bushy black beard, mustache, and eyebrows. Wears a tight brown cowboy hat on his head that has a tear across the brim, and a dusty brown overcoat. The red cloak covering most of his torso at an angle underneath. This looks like the description you had for Don McCann, the man you're hunting up.
That's him. That's him. That is the guy.
I think Florence would pretend to be somebody else, but like talk to him and get like information from him, but like not like a full confrontation. Something preparing for one.
All right, so you turn to him, tap him on the shoulder. He turns to you and he says, "What can I do you for? Is that one second. Is that an accordion?"
Yes, sir. It is.
It's interesting. Oh, and that's a rooster on your shoulder. Man, aren't you just a picture of interesting?
Oh, of course. I make it my personality. Do you happen to know how to play accordion?
Me? No, I couldn't play anything but jacks when I was a kid.
Well, I guess you're the definition of interesting.
If you say so.
Well, mister, I was wondering, it's my first time being in this town, and I don't really know what I would like to do. Is there something you really find yourself going to often?
Oh, me, I'm just passing in. Hopped off the train, get myself a glass of whiskey to wet my gullet. So I don't really know what they do around these parts, but I tell you, it doesn't look fast-paced.
That's so funny.
His confidence is destroyed.
You see, he's had a cool exterior, and you say, "Isn't that funny?" and giggle, and he flashes sadness across his face. He goes, "Oh, no, I just meant, like, you know, it's, so you needed something?"
Well, mister, I was just wondering, did you happen to ever be in Prescott?
Prescott? Oh, no, not me. I was coming from south, heading north, actually. Just figured I'd stop through. Why? Is there something interesting there? You'll make a insight check.
13.
It seems like he's lying. You see, when he says that, just a quick dart of his eyes to the side, like he might be thinking about why you're asking about Prescott.
Well, you know, I just recently had a friend who, you know, lost like a really important family heirloom in Prescott, and I just want to see if maybe someone would know anything about that.
Well, what was the family heirloom?
It was this really beautiful vase that she had got passed down from like her grandmother, I believe.
Oh, I'm sorry for your friend. That's sad. Florence, you notice for the first time that his undercoat on his left side is bulging out quite a bit.
Mom, mister, what's that?
Oh, he pushes you and he runs pounding steps towards the door.
I'm running after him.
Sure, you're running after this, Florence?
Also running.
You pursue. He bursts through the door into the street, runs, jumps on a large black horse that was saddled, ready to go. He unties the reins and takes off down the street. Deputy, you see this commotion and excitement across the street.
Hey, stop over there. Where do you think you're going?
You see his horse runs off, barreling towards the street, towards open desert, west.
Jasper, where's your mother?
We don't have time for that. We got to stop him. Take a shot.
He's about 150 feet away from you.
Oh my god.
Because this was just a little bit down. This was down the street.
Well, this probably ain't gonna go well, but I'm gonna go for it. That's a 16.
16. You see the bullet goes right over his shoulder, and he keeps bolting. Before you can get another shot off, he's a little too far out of range. Jasper, you know where there are horses in town.
All right, Augustus, we gotta go. You got any weapons?
Weapons?
Yeah, weapons. We gotta fight this guy. We gotta get him.
Augustus runs back into the little hospital. He reaches under a box, rustles past a bunch of weird herbal medicine and just hard drugs, and grabs a shotgun.
You grab a beautiful shotgun, the AJ Arbery double barrel shotgun, hammerless. It has Damascus steel, dark oak wood, and intricate engravings on the metal. As well as you've sawed off the end of it to make it a sawed-off shotgun. You grab that, throw it over your back. You've got your bullets across your chest. You're ready to go.
Oh my god, that's a beautiful looking gun. But we don't have time for this.
Yeah, this
okay.
This is normal.
We gotta go get the horses. We gotta go get the horses right now.
You get the horses. You see two people down the street that look like they were in pursuit of that man.
Hey, are you trying to chase that man?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, come on. We got
Just
horses.
nice and casual. Oh yeah, I was thinking about going after.
we got horses. We gotta go. Come on.
You guys take off towards a local stable where people tie up their horses in town. You spend a little bit of time saddling them up, and you can take off. There's one for each of you.
I want the pretty one.
Florence, you see a chestnut sorrel standing 15 hands and an inch in height. The horse has a beautiful blonde mane and strong shoulders. You guys saddle up your horses. There's 3 others for the rest of you.
Augustus is gonna make an insight check and try and spot the fastest of the horses.
Go ahead.
Because he's better on horses in his day.
Augustus, we gotta go. We don't have time for
insight,
that.
make a, as you glance around, make a animal handling check.
Oh, animal handling. Philip.
Yeah, you're not really trying to tell
why are
if
you
a
doing
horse
this
is
to me?
lying to you or not. You're trying to
This is wisdom, right?
discern the horse's attributes.
All right. That's a cool 5.
Yeah, you see one that you think is pretty fast. Its legs are a little bit shorter, but it's a beautiful maroon color.
That's normal for fast horses?
Yes, you think that's normal for fast horses.
All right, Augustus is gonna hop on before anyone else can say anything.
You saddle up. You guys run out of the stables, chasing him. You can see by his dust cloud in the distance, it looks like he's headed towards Union Pass in the Black Mountains across the valley. He might be headed for the river. Unclear, but you guys can chase him.
Yeah, as fast as we can.
Oh yeah, we're gunning him down.
Even with Augustus holding us back.
You
On
guys,
his fast horse.
Looking a little slow there.
you guys tear out of town across the sands. McCann seems like he's headed towards Union Pass. The hooves of your horse pound on the sandy ground through the low, dry brush and rocks. Hot sun beating down.
I take out my guided
And
missile
that's
launcher
where-
and I start.
And that's where we'll end this episode of Fire and Smoke, The Devil at Gold Basin. Thank you for listening.
You want to take that one more time?
I do, yeah. Thank you for listening. You look disappointed. Should I take it again?
No, it's just, it's like a new podcast.
You know
and,
what they
you
say,
want
third
people to
time's
be
the
excited
charm.
and stuff,
Third
right?
time's the
Like,
That was the first episode of Fire and Smoke, Devil at Gold Basin. Tune in next week. If you want to keep up with the show, you can follow my Dungeons & Dragons TikTok account, WhichDunphy, WhichDunphy. Does anybody else want to say anything?
Yeah, open your Discover savings account now.
We're not, no free ad reads. They have to give us money, please.
it's not how sponsors work.
Please follow my chocolate
not
milk
sponsored.
brand that I'm opening up right now.
All right. Make sure to listen to episode 2 of Fire and Smoke to see the group chase Don McCann down.
Slay.
We gotta end the episode saying slay.
See you all next episode.
Slay. Slay.
Slay.